Bram stood on the small hill near his home, looking down at the large house below. The sun was setting, casting a warm orange light over the tall walls and glass windows of the estate. It was a quiet evening, but Bram felt a strange excitement in his chest. He had been away for many months, traveling between planets for his business. Now, finally, he was coming back home. He had missed this place more than he thought. More than he expected. The house looked just as he had left it. The garden was neat, the lights inside glowing softly. Bram took a deep breath and smiled. Soon, he would see Mina, his daughter. He hadn't been able to spend much time with her lately, and he missed her laughter and her bright eyes. Bram's steps quickened as he walked down the hill toward the house. He wanted to surprise Mina. She always liked surprises. As Bram got closer, something made him stop. There was a figure moving quietly near the front door. It was a woman dressed in black, and she moved with calm and careful steps. Bram had never seen her before. His heart beat faster. Who was she? And why was she here? He stood behind a tree, watching. The woman opened the door gently and walked inside. Bram followed, careful not to make a sound. Inside, the house was warm and full of soft light. Bram could hear voices coming from the kitchen. It was Mina's voice, laughing and talking. Bram smiled. He was almost home. Then, Bram saw them. The woman in black was helping Mina in the kitchen. She handed Mina a plate of food, and Mina smiled at her warmly. Bram felt frozen. He did not expect this. The woman was not just a maid. She moved with skill, like someone who knew how to protect herself. Her eyes were calm and strong. Mina looked happy. She looked safe. Bram stepped closer but still stayed hidden. He wanted to understand. Suddenly, the woman turned and looked straight toward where Bram was standing. For a moment, their eyes met. Bram felt a strange feeling in his chest, a mix of surprise, curiosity, and respect. The woman nodded once, as if she knew him but was waiting for him to speak. Bram took a deep breath and walked inside fully. The door closed behind him with a soft click. Mina, Bram called softly. It's me. I'm home. Mina's eyes widened with joy. She ran toward him and hugged him tightly. Papa, she said, smiling. You're here. Bram hugged her back, feeling the warmth of her small arms. Then, he looked at the woman again. And you are? The woman smiled kindly. My name is Zara, sir. I'm here to help take care of Mina. Bram nodded slowly, still surprised. I didn't know you were here. Zara looked calm. I arrived a few weeks ago. Mina needed someone to watch over her. Bram felt a mixture of emotions. He was proud but also worried. Why? Was something wrong? Zara's eyes showed seriousness. There have been threats, sir. People who want to harm your family because of your work. Bram's mind raced. He knew his business had many enemies. But he had never told Mina about the dangers. Mina looked at Bram and then at Zara. I'm safe with Zara, she said softly. She teaches me how to be strong. Bram smiled, feeling a new respect for both of them. He realized that Mina was growing up, learning to protect herself. And Zara was not just a maid, she was a guardian. That night, Bram stayed awake, thinking about what he had seen. The woman in black had changed everything he thought he knew about home and safety. Tomorrow, he would learn more. But for now, he was just happy to be home again. The next morning, Bram woke up early. The soft light of dawn was coming through the large windows of his room. He sat on the edge of his bed, thinking about last night. The woman named Zara was not like anyone he had ever met. She moved with calm power, and Mina trusted her completely. Bram wanted to know more. He dressed quickly and went downstairs. The house was quiet except for the soft sound of footsteps coming from the kitchen. Bram followed the sound, curious. When he entered the kitchen, he saw Zara standing by the counter. She was preparing breakfast for Mina. Her black uniform looked simple but neat. Bram noticed the way she moved slow, careful, and confident. She did not rush, but every movement had a purpose. Mina came into the room, still sleepy. She smiled when she saw her father. "Good morning, Papa," she said happily. "Good morning, Mina," Bram replied. "I see Zara is already taking good care of you." Mina nodded. "Zara helps me a lot. She teaches me things, too." Bram looked at Zara, who gave a small, polite smile. "What kind of things?" Bram asked, curious. Zara set the plates on the table and said quietly, "I teach her how to stay safe, sir. The world is not always kind, and Mina needs to know how to protect herself." Bram felt a little uncomfortable but nodded. It was true that his life was full of danger, and he wanted Mina to be safe. But he had always hoped she could live a simple, happy life. Zara noticed his hesitation. "I understand, sir. But knowing how to defend oneself brings confidence. Mina is smart and strong. I believe she can handle it." Mina smiled brightly. "I like learning from Zara. She is very good at teaching." Bram watched as Zara helped Mina eat breakfast. The girl looked calm and happy, and Bram's heart felt lighter. After breakfast, Bram asked Zara if they could talk privately. They moved to the study, away from Mina. Zara sat quietly, waiting. Bram asked, "Zara, tell me more about yourself. How did you come to be here?" Zara's eyes softened. "I used to work as a security officer for a space agency. I protected important people on dangerous missions. When threats began to grow around your family, I was asked to come here and keep Mina safe." Bram was impressed. "You have a strong background. I never imagined my daughter would have a guardian like you." Zara nodded. "It is my duty, sir. I care about Mina's safety and well-being. She is brave." Bram looked thoughtful. "And how does Mina feel about all this? About you and your training?" Zara smiled gently. "She trusts me. She is eager to learn. Mina is not just a child, she is growing into a young woman who will face many challenges. I want to help her be ready." Bram felt proud but also a little sad. He had missed many moments in Mina's life because of work. Now, he saw she was becoming independent. "Thank you, Zara," Bram said sincerely. "I am glad you are here." Zara stood and bowed slightly. "Thank you, sir. I will always do my best." As Bram left the study, he thought about the changes in his life. He had built an empire across the stars, but the most important thing was right here: his daughter's safety and happiness. Later that day, Bram spent time with Mina in the garden. The sun was bright, and flowers bloomed everywhere. Mina showed him a small device she had been working on. It was a simple drone, but Bram saw the potential. "You built this?" Bram asked, amazed. Mina nodded proudly. "Zara helped me. She teaches me how to use technology to help protect us." Bram smiled wide. His daughter was clever and brave, and with Zara's guidance, she was learning skills that would help her in the future. As the day passed, Bram and Zara talked more about the threats to his business and family. Bram realized that the world outside was harsher than he had imagined. But inside this house, with Zara's calm strength and Mina's bright spirit, Bram felt hope. That night, Bram watched as Mina and Zara prepared for bed. Mina looked peaceful, trusting Zara completely. Bram knew that this black-clad woman was more than a maid. She was a protector, a teacher, and now, part of their family. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Thank you, Zara." The morning light filtered softly through the curtains as Bram sat at the breakfast table, sipping his coffee. Mina was already awake, practicing with her small drone in the garden outside. Zara moved quietly around the kitchen, preparing food with calm precision. Bram watched Zara closely. She was more than just a maid or helper. He could see the strength in her movements, the focus in her eyes. There was something about her that told him she was ready for anything. "Zara," Bram said carefully, breaking the quiet. "Can you tell me more about your training? What kind of skills do you have?" Zara paused, then nodded. "I was trained in several areas, sir. Protection, combat, strategy, and technology. I have worked in many dangerous situations, protecting important people." Bram raised his eyebrows. "Dangerous situations? Can you give me an example?" Zara looked thoughtful. "Once, during a mission on a mining colony, we were attacked by rebels. I had to protect the scientists and secure their research. It was difficult, but I succeeded." Bram nodded slowly, impressed. He never expected the woman in his house to have such a background. Mina entered the kitchen, her face bright with excitement. "Papa, Zara taught me how to handle the drone better. Watch." She made the small machine fly smoothly in circles. Bram smiled. "You're learning well, Mina." Zara helped Mina with a gentle smile. "She is a fast learner, sir." Bram's mind raced with thoughts. Mina was not just a child playing with toys. She was being trained by someone with real skills, preparing for the challenges ahead. It made Bram both proud and worried. Later that afternoon, Bram decided to take a walk around the estate. He wanted to clear his mind and think about what he had learned. Zara and Mina followed him quietly, like shadows moving together. As they walked, Zara spoke softly, "Sir, it is important for Mina to learn how to protect herself, but also to understand when to use strength and when to be calm." Bram looked at her with interest. "What do you mean?" Zara smiled slightly. "Strength is not just about fighting. It is about knowing yourself, being patient, and making smart choices." Bram thought about his own life, the battles he had fought in business, the wars between companies, and the enemies he had faced. He realized Zara was right. Real strength came from within. Mina held Zara's hand and looked up at her with trust. Bram saw that Zara was more than a teacher, she was a guide. Suddenly, Zara stopped and looked toward the horizon. "There are dangers coming, sir. People who want to hurt your family are getting closer." Bram's heart tightened. "What can we do?" Zara's eyes shone with determination. "We prepare. We watch. We protect." That evening, Bram sat with Mina and Zara in the living room. The walls were lined with screens showing different parts of the estate and the nearby forest. Zara explained the security system in detail. "This house is not just a home," Zara said. "It is a fortress. We have cameras, sensors, and defenses to keep you safe." Bram nodded, feeling grateful. "I trust you, Zara. You have shown me your strength and your care for Mina." Zara bowed her head respectfully. "Thank you, sir. It is my honor." Mina smiled brightly. "Papa, I want to learn more. I want to be strong like Zara." Bram laughed softly. "You already are, Mina." As the night grew darker, Bram felt a new sense of peace. He knew that no matter what dangers awaited, he had Zara's strength and Mina's spirit on his side. Before going to bed, Bram looked out the window at the stars. He whispered to himself, "We will be ready." The days passed quietly at first, but Bram could feel the tension growing under the calm surface of his home. Zara was always alert, watching the cameras and checking the security systems carefully. Mina practiced with her drone and learned new skills from Zara. Bram tried to focus on his family, but his mind kept returning to the threats Zara had mentioned. One afternoon, as the sun began to set, Zara approached Bram in the study. Her expression was serious. "Sir," she said softly, "I have noticed unusual activity near the estate. Someone has been watching the house for several days." Bram frowned. "How close? Can we see them on the cameras?" Zara nodded. "They are keeping their distance, but their patterns are clear. They are waiting for the right moment." Bram stood and walked to the window, looking out over the trees that surrounded the property. The peaceful forest hid many secrets, and tonight, it felt like danger was hiding there too. "We need to be ready," Bram said quietly. Zara agreed. "I will increase patrols and prepare the defenses." Mina, who was nearby, listened carefully. "Papa, I want to help. Zara says I can be part of the defense." Bram looked at his daughter and smiled. "You are very brave, Mina. But this could be dangerous." Mina nodded firmly. "I want to learn. Zara will teach me." That evening, the estate was quiet but full of tension. Zara checked every door and window, making sure the locks were secure. Mina watched her carefully, learning how to notice small details. Bram sat in the control room, watching the screens with Zara. Suddenly, one camera showed movement near the back gate. Shadows moved quickly, trying to stay hidden. Zara's voice was calm but firm. "They are here." Bram felt a surge of adrenaline. "What should we do?" Zara pressed a button, and a low hum filled the room. The estate's security systems activated, lights turned on, sensors scanned the area, and robotic patrols moved silently through the grounds. The attackers did not expect the defenses to be so strong. They tried to move quickly, but the estate's technology was ready. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. The attackers had triggered a trap, a net that lowered from the trees, capturing one of the intruders. Zara moved to the door. "Stay here," she told Bram and Mina. She stepped outside, her black uniform blending with the night. She was fast and quiet, like a shadow herself. Bram watched through the window as Zara approached the captured intruder. "Who sent you?" Zara asked sharply. The intruder said nothing, but Zara's strong presence made him nervous. She secured him and called for backup. Bram's heart was pounding. This was more serious than he had thought. His enemies were bold and dangerous. After the attackers were captured, Zara returned to the house. "They were sent by a rival company," she explained. "They want to scare you, sir, and take control of your business." Bram clenched his fists. "I will not let them win." Mina looked at Zara with wide eyes. "I want to help protect Papa and this home." Zara smiled gently. "You will. You are learning quickly." That night, Bram felt closer to Zara and Mina than ever before. Together, they were not just a family, they were a team ready to face any challenge. As Bram went to bed, he looked at Mina and Zara with pride. The future was uncertain, but with them by his side, he felt strong. The shadows outside might be waiting, but inside the house, the light was brighter than ever. The night was calm, but the air felt heavy with tension. Bram sat in the control room, eyes glued to the screens showing every corner of his estate. Mina was beside him, her small hands steady as she operated the drone under Zara's watchful eye. Zara, always alert, stood nearby, ready for anything. Suddenly, the calm was broken by a series of sharp beeps. A red light flashed on one of the screens. "Movement detected near the east wall," Zara said quietly but firmly. Bram rose quickly. "They're coming." Outside, under the cover of darkness, a group of men and women moved swiftly. They were armed and clearly trained, but they didn't expect the estate to be ready. The security systems activated immediately, bright floodlights turned on, and alarms echoed through the grounds. Zara moved to the door. "Mina, stay inside." "Bram, come with me." But Mina shook her head. "No, I want to help." Zara looked at Mina, then at Bram. Bram saw the determination in his daughter's eyes and knew she wasn't afraid. "Very well," Bram said. "But be careful." Together, the three of them prepared. Bram checked the communication devices, Zara armed herself with non-lethal weapons designed to stop intruders without harm, and Mina controlled the drones, ready to scout and warn. The attackers approached the east wall, trying to find a weak point. Zara's voice came through the headset. "They're breaking through the perimeter fence. Get ready." Suddenly, drones flew overhead, sending out blinding lights and loud noises. The attackers hesitated, confused by the unexpected defense. Zara moved out with precision, blocking their advance. She was fast and strong, dodging and disarming with skill that only years of training could give. Bram stayed in the control room, coordinating defenses and watching the battle unfold on the screens. Mina's drone spotted one of the attackers trying to sneak around the side. She quickly alerted Zara. Zara responded instantly, moving to intercept. She caught the intruder off guard and subdued him quietly. The fight was intense but careful. Zara made sure to avoid serious harm, using her strength and skill to stop the attackers. Bram felt proud and amazed watching Zara and Mina work together. His daughter was brave and quick, and Zara was a fierce protector. After a long struggle, the attackers began to retreat. Zara called out, "They're falling back. But they will return." Bram nodded. "We will be ready." Mina looked tired but happy. "I did good, didn't I?" Zara smiled warmly. "You did very well, Mina." Bram hugged his daughter tightly. "You both did. I am proud of you." That night, as the house settled back into silence, Bram sat with Zara and Mina. They talked quietly about what had happened and what to do next. Bram realized that his life was no longer just about business or wealth. It was about protecting the people he loved and working as a team. He looked at Zara and said, "Thank you for protecting us." Zara smiled. "It is my duty and my honor." Mina leaned against Bram, feeling safe and strong. Together, they knew they could face whatever came next. The morning after the siege was quiet, almost peaceful. The sun rose slowly over the estate, bathing the garden in warm light. Bram stood by the window, watching Mina play with her drone, her laughter filling the air. But deep inside, Bram knew that the peace was only temporary. The attack had shown him the true danger his family faced. Zara entered the room silently, carrying a tray with breakfast. She placed it on the table and looked at Bram with calm eyes. "Sir," she said softly, "the attackers were just the beginning. They will try again, and next time, they may be stronger." Bram nodded. "I know. That's why we need to be ready. Not just with weapons or technology, but with trust." Zara studied him for a moment. "Trust?" "Yes," Bram replied. "Trust in each other. Mina, you, and me. We must work together, as a family." At that moment, Mina came into the room, her eyes bright. She smiled at Zara and Bram. "I want to help more," Mina said. "I want to learn how to protect our home and everyone we care about." Zara smiled warmly. "You have already shown great courage. And I will teach you everything I know." Bram looked at both of them and felt a deep sense of pride. His daughter was growing stronger every day, and Zara was more than a guardian, she was a mentor and friend. That afternoon, Bram invited Zara and Mina to the study. He had a plan. "I want us to train together," he said. "Not just to defend the house, but to build our bond. We need to trust each other completely." Zara nodded. "It is a wise idea, sir. Strength comes from unity." Mina clapped her hands excitedly. "Let's start now." For the next few hours, Zara taught Mina how to use the security systems, how to move quietly, and how to stay calm under pressure. Bram joined in, learning alongside them. It was hard work, but they laughed and helped each other. As evening came, Bram took Mina aside. "You are brave," he said quietly. "And you are becoming a strong young woman. I am proud of you." Mina hugged her father tightly. "Thank you, Papa." Zara watched the moment, feeling a quiet happiness. She had seen many things in her life, but this family growing closer was special. Later that night, a sudden noise outside caught their attention. The alarm system beeped softly, signaling movement near the front gate. Zara moved quickly. "Stay inside. I will check." Bram grabbed a small weapon, and Mina stayed close to him. Zara stepped outside, blending with the shadows. She saw a lone figure standing by the gate. The person was nervous but unarmed. "Who are you?" Zara called quietly. The figure raised their hands. "Please, I mean no harm. I am here to talk." Zara stayed alert but lowered her weapon slightly. The figure stepped forward and revealed a small device. "It's a message for Bram," the figure said. Bram took the device and pressed a button. A recorded voice played. "This is from the rival company," the message said. "We want peace. Let us meet and talk. No more attacks." Bram looked at Zara and Mina. "What do you think?" Zara smiled softly. "This is an opportunity. But we must be careful." Mina nodded. "I want to be there. I want to help." Bram looked at his daughter and then at Zara. He knew the journey ahead would be difficult, but with them by his side, he felt ready. Together, they would face whatever came next. Not just as protector and protected, but as a family. The day of the meeting arrived quietly. Bram, Zara, and Mina prepared carefully. The message from the rival company promised peace, but none of them trusted it completely. They knew this meeting could change everything for better or worse. Bram chose a neutral location, a small conference room in a nearby city. It was plain but secure, with large windows that let in the soft morning light. Bram arrived first, his face calm but serious. Zara was close behind, her eyes sharp and watchful. Mina held her father's hand tightly but stood with quiet courage. The door opened, and two people entered. They were representatives from the rival company, dressed simply but confidently. Bram nodded politely. "Thank you for coming," Bram said. The leader of the rival group smiled slightly. "We want to end the conflict. Our companies have been fighting for too long. It hurts both sides." Bram looked at Zara, who gave a small nod. They were listening carefully. "We want to find a way to work together," the rival leader continued. "For the future." Mina spoke up, surprising everyone. "Why should we trust you? You sent people to attack my home." The rival leader's eyes softened. "I understand your doubt. Those attacks were orders from some who do not want peace. But I want to stop it. We want a better future." Bram took a deep breath. "Peace is what I want too. But it must be real." The talks continued, honest and careful. Bram shared his ideas, Zara added her thoughts about safety, and even Mina spoke about hope and learning. After hours of discussion, the two sides found common ground. They agreed to stop the attacks and work on a plan for cooperation. It was a small step, but a meaningful one. When the meeting ended, Bram felt relief but also a new sense of responsibility. The path ahead would not be easy, but it was the right one. Back at home, Mina ran into Zara's arms. "We did it. We made peace." Zara smiled. "Yes, Mina. And now, we must keep it." Bram looked at both of them and said, "I have learned something important. Strength is not just about fighting. It is about trust, courage, and hope." Mina nodded eagerly. "And family." Zara placed a hand on Bram's shoulder. "Together, you three are strong." As the sun set over the estate, Bram, Zara, and Mina stood together in the garden. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, it was full of promise. A billionaire had come home unannounced and found something far more valuable than wealth, a family bound by trust, strength, and love. And that was the greatest treasure of all.